Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the delay. For the past 10 minutes, I'd say, somewhere around there. Brandon Perna has been trying to resolve the technical difficulties in which StreamYard is not recognizing his microphone. So I cannot hear him. He can hear me. But this is what we're dealing with. This is why there are currently technical difficulties. So this is either going to be the worst show ever, where it's just going to be me talking and half people are going to leave, or it's going to be the greatest show ever. So either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's ride! We here. We steer you in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Yeah. Perna, how you doing today? Well, Tom, I'd like to be doing better, but my fucking microphone won't work. I'm filling in for both. I'm trying to role play. Where do I have to be with the octave and the dialect? I feel like a little bit more Italian there, maybe. I think, potentially. All right, thank you for that. We also could have a Google Doc written and open so you could communicate via text and I could just share the screen anytime that you want to speak. We could do that. Listen, language, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be both hosts, okay? We're trying. Yeah, so the breaking news. As Brandon attempts to fix his microphone here. And it's StreamYard's fault. It's not Brandon's fault. This Brandon Aiyuk trade is taking literally forever. But besides all of us waiting for it, and the 49ers fans waiting for it, and the Steelers fans waiting for it, I gotta give a little bit of a shout out to Patriots fans. Just a little bit. Because as was reported, that there was the bones of a contract for the Browns and for the Patriots between the 49ers about the Brandon Aiyuk trade. And then last night it came out that Brandon Aiyuk, even though it was reported that the Patriots are going to pay him $30 million, he's like, I don't want to go to New England. So I'm sorry, Patriots fans. Today, you're catching some strays. I feel like now it's really starting to get to the bottom where now players don't even want to go and play for you anymore. Which, listen, this is how the redemption arc starts. You had all this success, now you just got to go through it. You got to be Batman in The Dark Knight Rises. And you might say, Tom, that wasn't that great of a movie. And I'd argue, yeah, it's not as good as The Dark Knight, but it's pretty solid. Pretty solid movie, you know? That's it. Yeah, we're late today. We're late today. We are late. But Perna, in case you're just tuning in now, again, is trying to get the microphone to work. It's proving a little bit challenging. StreamYard is only recognizing his Elgato. Hold on, Perna. If you scroll down to page 2 of the Google Doc we have, we could share it and you could talk to the people. Yeah, look at this. Watch this. We are about to, ready? Hi, Brandon. How are you today? This is the show. This is how people, it won't let me. This is what we want. This is what. Yeah, it gets to be a mime. Won't let me change to my. Could be anything. Rode mic in StreamYard. In StreamYard. See, it's like Perna's here. The terrible accents are there. In StreamYard, there's no mic. See, I told you. So far, I'm hitting it. He could be traded during the show. I think it's gonna leave Perna speechless if that happens. So we're gonna try. We are gonna get try. Yep. You gotta do in the shower. Oh, now the mic. Oh, I heard Mother Lover was dropped. I didn't hear it, but okay, that's his face. Let's check in and see how things are going with Brandon. Well, all right. It has gotten significantly darker on the screen. For some reason, I have a beach background now. I don't know what Windows did. I don't know if it updated. I don't know. Trade to the Dolphins. That's fair. Somebody to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, so this Brandon Aiyuk trade is just continuing, and it just feels like it has been dragged out forever. In which, okay, Brandon Aiyuk wants a trade. There was all those rumblings earlier on. They're like, oh, maybe he gets traded before the draft. Nope, that doesn't happen. And then it's like, okay, the 49ers are going to say no. Then he formally requests a trade. And this has just been ongoing. And apparently he had a way out, but he's like, I don't want to go to New England. So we're still waiting. If you're on Twitter, Ricky says they're going to Steelers. Says he's going to Steelers. Been standing on it for a while. And apparently they have definitely been having communication. So I would not be surprised if this trade winds up happening sooner rather than later. Hey, Perna, say nothing if the Chiefs are going to three-peat. Well, he left. So I don't know if that's worse or better. I don't know. But we're here. Let's see. Perna, make no noise. The street. Think Tom can beat you in one-on-one coverage. Now this is the kind of show that I was hoping we would have. This is the kind of show. So right now, just due to Brandon Perna's silence, he thinks that the Chiefs are going to three-peat. And on top of that, I'm going to destroy him on one-on-one coverage. I don't even know if he defends an entire ball. How long is this going to take? When will then be now? Soon? I don't know. And that's the thing. Are we talking about Perna's microphone, or are we talking about the Brandon Aiyuk trade? That's the real question. What is going to happen first? Is Brandon going to fix his microphone, or is Brandon Aiyuk going to finally get traded to somebody who is likely going to be the Steelers? That's what we're waiting for. Hey. Believe in Joe Hendry. I hope you're all doing well today. When Perna and I were just trying to figure this out, and I usually StreamYard for one of us is not working, in which I'll go on and he can't hear me, but my microphone's working, so then I gotta leave and I gotta come back. This morning was a little bit different because I came on and I was like, oh, you just messing with me? But nay, he literally can't speak. So that's it. Yes, so that was also in the rundown, in which you're having Simmons go to the Saints. All right. Yeah, I know, which now, of course, I put the Saints reaction out yesterday. It's fine. I only got two left. But Simmons to the Saints would be really interesting. I mean, their defense was, really good at the start of the season last year. Still has some good pieces, but, getting Simmons, I think, is a really, really solid vet. And I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet. But I imagine by the end of camp, somebody's going to get him. But I remember when Sean Payne said Bo Nix was good as Mahomes. Isn't he third on the depth chart? Still like the pick. Blink twice if you're dying. Perna, he may. I'm gonna check by my phone just to make sure. Okay, good. Perna might be gone. I'm assuming what's happening right now is he is ripping out a whole bunch of things, trying to put things together, and trying to make this work. We might see a new camera. We might see a new microphone. We might see a new everything when Brandon Perna comes back. It might not even be Brandon Perna who comes back. He may be a changed man when he returns. It's possible. That's what I'm saying. If you couldn't hear me, I'd be doing this entire show in sign language. And I really don't know a lot of sign language. So you just got to make it work. That reminds me. Thanks, Sean. That reminds me, folks, if you want to listen to GPS via podcast, you've been asking for years. Well, now is the time because GPS can be found wherever you listen to your podcast. The links are in the description. I think Perna put them in there. But go on there, leave it a review. If you want to listen to us talk and not know what's going on, and you can't see video clips and you can't do any of that stuff, there you go. I get it. It's fine. You don't want to see this anymore. That's it. Waiting for Yes, we're waiting for Godot, but Godot is Brandon Perna in this. I think would be a good idea. I saw Keanu Reeves, by the way. I got a random notification that Keanu Reeves is going to be doing Waiting for Godot on Broadway. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm not a big Broadway guy, but I might actually go see that. We'll see. But if Perna and I did... Oh, hold on. Maybe.
This fucker. Dear God. What? Oh.
Woo! I was spinning.
StreamYard going to be hearing from me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
hey, buddy.
Those
it looks like
motherfuckers, I swear to God. Tom,
this one will be explicit.
I swear to God.
This one will be labeled explicit.
All right. I restarted the computer. Let's just see if that fixes it.
Well, I can hear you, so it's working now. And this looks like the old view. Yes. I got nostalgic for it.
It
You want me
was.
to just you want to hit the
It
intro
would
again?
only recognize my game capture card as the audio source, and I could. My mic was there. I could select the microphone, go to the Rode mic, make this the audio, and every time I tried to do so, it just it wouldn't. So,
But it's fixed now, buddy. That's all that matters.
yeah.
That's all that
Because
matters.
thank God I finally just unplugged this stupid thing.
That's why I said I imagine you were just unplugging everything and just being like, all right, let's try to make this work. Let's try to make this work. Yeah, Patriots fans down bad right now. It's
All
not.
right.
It's not. It's not. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay now.
Okay, good. Good.
Thank you guys for the patience.
Doctors out there.
All right. What were you talking about? I was getting just more angry every.
I could see it. I could
passing
see it
30
rising.
seconds.
It's all good, buddy. No stress. We're good. We're good. We're good. Fine. It's fine. More reason. Hey, gumbo is for winners. That's true.
Gumbo.
I said to evil. That'll do it. That'll do it. No, we're talking about that Brandon Aiyuk trade and then how the Patriots, Brandon Aiyuk was like, hey, yeah, I get paid a lot of money, but I don't want to go to New England, which is to have it that out in the open. It's just like, no, the Patriots have become that team. Like, they're just going through their arc. They had it all. And then they had to watch Tom Brady win a Super Bowl with somebody else, but maybe they're still kind of rooting for it. And now, like, just like losing seasons, not going well. And now it's players don't even want to play for you. You just got to go through that arc. You're now experiencing what it's like to be just like every other team.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know what
Basically,
Brandon
the
Ayuk's
Incredibles.
thinking at this point. Because you're assuming like if he's gonna leave San Francisco,
Yeah.
it's because he wants more money.
Sure.
And the 49ers are willing to pay him, but he thinks, maybe they're a couple mil off on a year-to-year, basis. So like, okay, it's about money.
Mhm.
Okay, the Patriots offer him the most money.
Yep.
But he doesn't want to play for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And it appears, and we don't really know if this is true yet, but it appears he only wants to play for the Steelers, who weren't offering as much money. They've upped their money, supposedly, over the last 24 hours. And he is going to go play for Russell Wilson and or Justin Fields? Like, what the fuck is he thinking?
I think it...
Because, I mean...
For me, I think it's going to come down to coaching, right? Because if Bill Belichick is there, maybe that's a little bit more of a pull. But since there's
I'd rather play for Mayo than Belichick if I'm a receiver.
Sure, but I think there's the unproven aspect of Mayo, and with Tomlin, Tomlin's one of the best coaches, in the NFL. Not the playoffs right now, but is one of the best coaches in the NFL. And I think that maybe the coach is going to remain even if the QBs don't, right? If Wilson doesn't work out, if Fields doesn't work out, Tomlin, I think, if they just extended him, is going to be there longer, and Brandon Aiyuk is going to likely be there longer than a year if he winds up going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, he's going to play for a worse offensive coach no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
Who's better than Kyle Shanahan? Maybe Sean McVay? That's about it. Andy Reid. I don't know. It's just, it seems, it doesn't make sense. I think he just doesn't want to be in San Francisco. It just comes down to that. And for whatever reason, he thinks the Steelers is the best fit for him. And we'll see. I mean, once you get paid, your production matters a little bit less, right? When you're a receiver, when you're trying to get that contract, you're really banking on your production being the thing that gets you the 30 mil a year, whatever it is right now. Yeah. I think his production will dip in Pittsburgh just based on who their quarterbacks are. But I don't know. I thought it was going to be the Patriots. And then while I was finishing editing yesterday's video, the Steelers moved back to the top. And then by the time I got done with the edit, I was like, the Patriots still make sense because they can offer the most money. And I think that's what this is about. And now we're wrong. We're wrong again. I just want it to be over.
Yeah,
And
I'm just because like here's the thing, Brandon Ayuk. I remember when he came into the league, and it was like, oh man, like this guy could be really, really good. And I think it was that second year he had like close to 1,000 yards, and it's like, okay, like yeah, you see it. And then he's had back-to-back 1,000 yard seasons. Like he is a good player, and I think
yeah,
last year like really was like, oh, he's taken that next step. He's become what a lot of people projected him to be, and I think that now it's just, okay, yes, he wants to get paid 1 million percent. You totally understand that. But negotiations between him and the 49ers, for whatever reason, did not go well. You know, whether it was where we don't have the money to pay you, because from the 49ers perspective, they're looking at their roster and they're like, we can only maintain this for so long. And if we start paying more wide receivers even more money, it's going to make it more difficult to, you know, go win a Super Bowl. So like I
yeah,
get it. It's just it's been drawn out now where it's not as bad as like the Aaron Rodgers trade where like
yeah.
that took a month, but it's just okay, like
No,
let's move on now.
this has been going on. I joked like for at least 9 months. Like
Yeah, like the
full
teasers.
babies have been born
Yeah.
since these trade rumors have sort of circulated. Um, and Brandon Ayuk had a very good season last year, and maybe that's who he is as a receiver, right? But I don't even know where to rank him compared to other like top tier receivers in the league. You know what I mean?
True.
If this was
I
like
agree.
CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill right now, or
Justin Jefferson, Devontae,
yeah,
yeah.
those guys, like I'm not sure he's there yet. Like if he had another 1,400-yard season with the 49ers, we'd probably be saying yes.
Sure.
And you're right. The Niners, Kittle and Deebo Samuel, I believe their contracts go through 2025, and they got to pay Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're thinking about when they're trying to structure his deal. And like if I were a wide receiver and I could make 28 million a year and stay with the 49ers,
Yeah.
and know I'm going to be in that Super Bowl window. Like I believe in Brock Purdy, I believe in my coach. I've got Kittle, I've got Debo, I've got McCaffrey. I've got all these amazing pieces that make me better. Like that's where I'd want to be if winning were the number one thing. If I
Sure.
just wanted money, yeah, sure, go to those other places. And I was kind of hoping it was going to be the Browns because they emerged allegedly, supposedly, as another team
Yeah.
with Amari Cooper mentioned as a piece, right? But that's just because I wanted to see Amari Cooper go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, plug him in with the 49ers for a year and see if he helped get him over the hump.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. That's kind of amazing, Ethan.
Of a
That is
BBC stream?
because he thought it was a GPS clip. That's top notch. We've jumped the shark. Phenomenal. But yeah,
anyway.
I think at this point, I agree with you because I think he's a very good wide receiver and the ceiling is definitely there. But because there isn't like that additional year or there isn't like that full consistency, my investment in it is significantly lower than if this was like Justin Jefferson getting traded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like it matters, and I think that if the Steelers or if it was the Patriots or whoever, if they get him, especially a team that needs a wide receiver like the Steelers and the Patriots, this would definitely make their offense better. Right?
Yeah.
Like you have the Commanders, like that would be a cool team too to see like Jane Daniels throw to him. So at this point, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's gonna make them better, but I don't know how good those teams are going to be. And because this has been drawn out for so long of like, oh, he kind of wants to. Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he didn't really request a trade. Oh, now he requested. I just don't. I'm just like, all right, just happen already. Like I went to officiate that wedding and it was like on Thursday with a lot of like, oh, those rumors. And I was like, man, like just happen. Just please just happen so we could just move on with our lives and call it a day.
It's, it needs to happen for a lot of people's fantasy drafting, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, don't even worry about him being third on the depth chart. It was all the rookies were listed last on the depth chart. Sean Payton said he spent 5 minutes doing it. It means nothing. Don't you worry.
But wasn't there that press conference where
That's how long Sean Payton spent on the depth
That's
chart.
on the depth chart. That was it.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's a formality at this point.
But also, like, unofficial depth charts,
They're not official.
they don't. No one cares. Like we, as just consumers of football, put a lot more stock in it.
Yeah,
like a lot more.
You know what unofficial depth charts are for? Is for people to tag me in them. That's what they're for, Tom.
Yeah.
Ha ha! Bo Nix isn't going to start, nerd. Wrong. He will start week 1. I stand by that. Stand by it.
Stand by me. Stand by me.
Oh yeah, because I kind of with the last thing with Aiyuk here.
Yeah.
I basically made an argument for why he wouldn't go to the Commanders. They were out of it, but I was like, they're rebuilding. They're full on rebuilding. They don't know who Jaden Daniels is as a QB yet. Why waste any draft capital to bring in Brandon Aiyuk? And then I basically made a case for the Patriots, and they're in the same spot. They don't know who Drake May is yet. They're kind of rebuilding. But the difference is the Commanders have Terry McLaurin there in Washington.
Terry, baby. Yep.
They don't need, another guy like McLaurin there. And I think Aiyuk going to the Patriots makes sense because of his experience and his talent level. They don't really have that there right now. So that's why that also made sense.
I'm wondering if that's a part of it too, even though the Steelers obviously are like popping up as a likely team that he's going to go. I'm sure that's a little bit of part of it. Again, we just don't know. But yeah, I mean,
I wanted to put the Cowboys in as because I guessed, as I was like, teams that could possibly jump in there. The Chargers, the Giants. And I was going to say the Cowboys, but in terms of places that need him, right?
Yeah.
Chargers really could use him.
Yeah.
But Dallas, like if they had already paid CD and Dak and had that worked out, then I'd be like, oh yeah, Dallas should be all in, Jerry, for a guy like Aiyuk. But they've got to figure out those contracts before they do anything, I think, at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what it comes down to, unless there is a sneaky team at the end, it's the Browns and it's the Steelers. And what I've heard is he doesn't want to play for Cleveland.
Yeah.
That is, that is quite a caption.
Plus, Cleveland brought in Jerry Jeudy. You've got Amari, you've got Jeudy, Elijah Moore, right? Is he there?
Yep.
Elijah Moore,
no, I agree. I think it's it's funny too, because like Ishii's saying this, it's funny hearing from 49ers fans because it from their perspective, and it seems like, hey, if we're looking at Aiyuk, it's like, hey, he was like, I want to get paid, or I'm going to leave. And 49ers are like, all right. They offered him a contract, and they're like, all right, you don't want to take that? Bye. Like, we'll move you on along now. So it's always fun. It's always fun.
Well, I think the 49ers I think John Lynch is very good at his job. I think he's a good GM. I think they do things the right way in terms of like a front office. So that's like weird about this. I think like there are organizations we'd look at and we would be like, oh, the organization is messing this up with Aiyuk. And I think that's what makes this a little it's like, what went wrong? Like, where did it get to the point where he definitely wants out? And I guess there's a small chance he could be back with the 49ers. I don't think so. They had the clip of McCaffrey referring to him as a former teammate yesterday, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
If I were a quarterback and there were guys I didn't want on my team, I would refer to them as former teammates all the time, just to try and usher them out the door.
You weren't talking for a while, and I was going to refer to you as a former co-host.
You should have. Also, I have feared AI for a while, Tom, but I'm pro AI. I'm pro AI, and this is why.
Why are you confident that you can work things out with Aiyuk?
Aiyuk's agent is a huge pain in my butt, man. We offered the guy $26 million a year. He had one good season and thinks he's Jerry Rice. Brandon cares more about money than competing for Super Bowls, so that puts us in a tough position.
John, will you shut the hell up? We're in a press conference here, and I thought we talked about this. I've got no good receivers left, and you're about to let my best deep threat go to the Cleveland Browns or something, and you must have got CTE while you were playing for my dad. Just get Brandon to sign the fucking contract.
Christ, Kyle, I'm not going to pay Brandon $30 million. I'll trade him and get someone cheaper. Plus, I can probably get us a bunch of draft picks.
What am I supposed to do with draft picks, John? Man, there's no way I can defeat that cheeseburger eating bastard Reed when my cheapskate boss can't get deals done. This job is aging me worse than a baboon's ass in a hurricane of monkey dick.
Why are you confident that you can?
This is the future and it's terrible. This is
Yeah.
the future
No,
and
it's
terrible.
bright.
This is the future
bright.
and it's terrible. It's terrible.
Right.
It's awful.
At like the
Trent
first couple
Williams is
seconds,
a-
I was like, "Oh, are John Lynch and Kyle just like messing around, joking with the the reporters?" And then I was like, "Oh no, this is AI. Oh dear God, oh God."
Oh God. Yeah, buddy. So we're sitting here. We're just sitting here in a stale. They asked Tomlin, he's like, oh, and if they asked him if like any interesting phone calls today. He's like, oh, it's a little early on the West Coast, so not yet. So like they're obviously talking. If I was a gambling man, I'd probably say he's going to the Steelers. Also got to trust Ricky, but he's going to the Steelers most likely. And I would assume this is going to be done within the next couple of days. I'm praying. Please.
Yeah,
just be
it's well. Let's see here.
done. Please. I just want to be done. Just want to be done.
Where is Ricky?
That'd be sick.
Ricky,
That'd be
what's
sick.
his Twitter? Oh, there it is. Okay. So Ricky, right? He's the first guy who said that Aiyuk was going to the Steelers like earlier this week. He's been on the beat, right, Tom?
I mean, he was dead. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, this is Twitter, and like, I'm not going to say that this person has every single source in the world. Dude was 100% right on Tua and Jordan Love that it was happening in the same day. So, like, I imagine it just makes a whole lot of sense, and this is just where everything has been trending. So, yeah,
And
why not?
was it? He caught some shade from was it Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo
All losing our mind.
on the NFL Network. But yeah, this is one of those things where it's like he has some sources, and
they offered something apparly. Yeah,
the
offered.
problem with this though, and I kind of had it in my video, then I cut it out because it was just a little unnecessary. But there's reports like this, and then I think they get blown out of proportion because I think it was Grant Cohn and the guy he does his podcast or show with. They made a live stream on Monday called "The Steelers Have Traded for Brandon Aiyuk."
Yeah.
And that's just a flat out fucking lie. And it's disinformation in the title. Now, if you listen to them talk, they're talking about Ricky as the source. They're saying it's a report that's saying he's going to go. Like, the way they talk about it, they're not super misleading. But it's titles like that then get tweeted, that other accounts then start tweeting that he's going to the Steelers. And it happens quickly where it becomes a fake story that's not true that people start believing. And I saw Max saying that there are dumb people who believe that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch thing is real. And it was like wild to just watch how quickly on Monday a trade rumor, something that is presented as a possibility, turns into he's going to the Steelers.
Sure.
And then it gets squashed because the real reporters do have to say nothing has been finalized yet.
Yep.
There are other teams in the mix, and then we got to wait. So it's just annoying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's how many times because I use Twitter for wrestling, which I've recently gotten into, like wrestling. It's so much fun. Wrestling and like it's the NFL. Like it's literally an extension of my job. I'm like, okay, cool. Like has someone gotten traded? Has someone got picked up? Because usually it's the quickest way to do that. Other than that, it's pretty much a hellscape. So to do that, and then everybody I remember because I was on the train going to Baltimore on Thursday, and like all these like, oh man, it's really heavily hinted like he's going like any day now. Like Brandon Aiyuk's gonna get traded. And dude, I'm stressing, and I was like, I have no equipment. I don't have my jerseys. I don't have anything. Like I can't. And it's just at this point, I just want it to be done so we could talk about it. We could then evaluate the team as a whole with Brandon Aiyuk or without Brandon Aiyuk and move on. That's all I want. That's all I want. So, yeah. I mean, apparently the Patriots are talking about paying him 30. That's what the rumor is, that they were talking about it, which he was like, no, thank you. I don't want to go play there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If I were to bet on a team being competitive, you go like the Browns are top between the Browns, Steelers, and Patriots. But over the next couple of years, like I might be a little bit optimistic about the Patriots. Certainly over the Steelers at this point, until like I would bet on Drake May right now over Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. That's because we've seen them in the NFL.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I mean, the Bills would be a lot of fun, but I just don't think they can pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got. I just don't.
I mean, the Broncos would make sense.
Sure.
But that's what we thought too initially, is that the
try.
49ers were going to get a player in the deal.
Yes.
So you're looking for a guy who can kind of maybe replace Ayuk's production. You know, they have Jawan Jennings there, but the Steelers, they don't really have that guy. That's why I was like, I don't know if the 49ers want to trade with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns got Amari Cooper, and even Kendrick Bourne for the Patriots. The Niners brought in Bourne as an undrafted rookie. He knows the system. They're familiar with his game, so that made a little sense.
Yeah.
But Baltimore?
Triple mix. Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
But
I don't think that would make sense.
I don't know, man. I just don't. People, when I was at that wedding, they were like, yeah, come to Baltimore. But nay. I just don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. I would love to see what that interaction is going to be like. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, the double Gemini man.
He's like, I agree with this. Like, he's great, but like one more year of like insane production, like he's going to get talked about in those circles. And if he could do it, especially like on a team that's not the 49ers. Yeah. And I'm not trying to downplay his production at all, but that's where we're at. Like, I don't know if you pay 30 mil. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. And I know I'm one to talk as a QB who just, I get it, but he ain't a QB. And you just saw the Chiefs win their setback, another Super Bowl without like a wide receiver besides Travis Kelce, who's a tight end, obviously, but basically a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that you don't necessarily need to have an insanely highly paid wide receiver to be successful. I mean, the Packers don't right now. So it's a risk. It's good that if you could get, that stability, especially with a young quarterback, like the Patriots, again, just where they're at, like the amount of wide receivers they have, and then a brand new QB coming in, like, yeah, that'd be great that he could throw to a great QB. Like, that's going to give him some confidence. But
the other thing is, like, if you have a young quarterback,
I don't think they trade Pickens. I don't think so. No, there's
I don't even think the 49ers want Pickens either. Like,
there's no shot.
You can draft receivers. Like,
yeah,
there's always receivers available.
Mm-hmm. No, we're not doing that. Nay. No.
I thought this was funny.
Yes, I saw that this morning.
So all the insiders do get the same press releases. Okay. Ryan pointed out, are these all the same guy? They might actually be. But the news is the Lions and Giants each fined $200,000.
I literally wrote the rundown. They can't stop fighting each other.
Yeah, for all their training camp fights. They've been doing joint practices.
Brazil's awesome.
NFL clubs were reminded in a memo about fighting and unprofessional conduct.
Yeah.
Seems a little excessive, $200,000. I think we like the training camp fights. And everybody's wearing Guardian caps. It's not like they're going to get hurt.
No. Over my dead, rotting corpse is Watt going to the 49ers. Over my dead, rotting.
We'll give you Nick Bosa. Here's
rotting corpse.
You give us J.J. Watt.
JJ.
TJ, whatever.
He comes out of retirement. He's like, It's just JJ Watt, like in TJ Watt's like helmet, and like he just never takes it off.
They're
He's
the
like,
same
yup,
guy. These
I'm
are the
TJ
same
Watt.
insiders. They're the same player.
Yeah.
Poor Derek Watt. Didn't get the initials. Had to
Dude.
play fullback.
Malik Neighbors is getting into fights. Yeah, the Lions and Giants are just beating the crap out of each other. And I'm like, good. Make themselves weaker. The Giants just because of the history, but the Lions, good. It sucks that actually people get injured, though. Like, we don't want that. Because here's the problem, too, is, right, it's like, oh, there's training camp scuffle, and it's like two people running into each other, and then they, like, just run, and they push each other a little bit. They're like, oh, it's madness. They fighting. Like, there are punches being thrown. Like, they're swinging. So, yeah. It's
Fight on, fellas.
Lions and Malik Neighbors, like, yeah, it has to be like, it's fun because it's exciting, but like you just don't want actually anybody getting hurt or anyone's season actually being in jeopardy because of a stupid training camp fight. So hopefully
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because then it's just ruining the game. So Quentin Johnson, Jefferson Williams is terrible.
I like when they got the multiple accounts.
By the way, yeah, Mr. Justin Simmons
visiting the Saints.
Yeah.
Do not go marching in, Justin. Do not go marching in, my friend.
Bro.
Somebody else, like the Saints have
trade JMO.
They've taken quite a few
pick.
aging Broncos secondary players. You got Champ Bailey, Roby, Chris Harris.
Yes, you do.
Now, Roby still played, I believe, but don't go there, Justin.
I saw clips of Hard Knocks because it premiered last night, and I saw Caleb Williams not being able to sing. And I was like, okay. But, dude, the hype behind Caleb Williams, it's insane. It's what? Like, this...
They are glazing that man.
That's what the kids say. This legitimately has to work out.
You're right.
Has to work out.
If it doesn't, it is going to be bad.
If it does not work out, it is going to be catastrophic. Last year was bad enough, and then Bears fans talk themselves... Because, Perna, imagine if the Panthers weren't the worst team in the league. Imagine they finished, like, 4th.
Sure.
And then they're either trading up to try and go get Caleb Williams, or they're just rocking with Justin Fields still. The only reason they're in this position is because the Panthers were so bad, and the Texans helped them out mightily.
Yeah.
So this is it. After this, Caleb Williams gotta be that guy.
No. And I did not watch Hard Knocks. I actually didn't even know it aired last night.
Yeah.
And that's because there's been the Giants offseason one on there. And there's too much Hard Knocks now. Like it doesn't feel like a cool event anymore.
I will say though that even though like their entire draft board got leaked for the Giants, which was really fun. It was cool seeing clips because I'll be very honest, like I didn't watch it because I just didn't have time. But it was cool seeing clips of like talking to Saquon Barkley, like going through free agent, like getting free agency and getting like a behind the scenes look at that. That was a lot of fun. That was super fun.
And that's all you need are the clips. Everybody finds the clips for you. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, bam.
I don't need to watch the 20 minutes of Joe Shane walking around his office.
The Vikings hype? Who is hyping up the Vikings?
I don't even think the Vikings are hyping up the Vikings.
I don't think so either. Brandon,
they're in a QB transition phase.
Also, someone said on Twitter, I was tagged in this post, that that Walls should go on like football shows or sports shows like the entire time up to the election. I will happily. He could talk about platform, he could talk about whatever. I just want him to know why I hate the Vikings. Like just for good 5-10 minutes, me just going, this is why they are the legit worst. And just go on. And he's like, Tom, you see about healthcare? I'm like, no. Do you want to talk about healthcare? Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers' collarbone. All right. Let's talk about. I just think it's what the people want to say. It's what the people want to say. You just gotta hope they have a pass rush, man. Like just have. It was so funny because doing these reaction videos again, 2 left. Going through, I just went through the Titans season, and it's so funny because they're like struggling. Their offensive line is so bad, so bad, so bad. And then they play the Falcons. Will Levis throws 4 touchdowns because there's 0 pass rush. Like the Falcons had 0 pass rush, and they're like, oh, this is the first time that we're able to sit back and throw the ball because usually our offensive line is hot garbage. So yeah, for the Falcons, I have no doubt they're going to be better, but just pray that that pass rush is there, is existent.
And they famously didn't upgrade it in the draft, right?
Let's go. Yeah, they could have.
They could have.
They could have. They could have done it. But the Packers beat the Bears both times. I'm shaving a G into the side of my head.
All right. Do it. Do it.
Let's go. Perna, you can't tell somebody to follow.
Do it now. Get ahead of the bet.
No.
Always pay your bets, guys. That's the lesson here.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to talk about something that really grinds my gears, Tom.
Oh. Wait, whoa. Found out my sister
Clark Hunt's son
hit me up and will take the Chiefs down from the inside. This is the plotting that I'm all about. See, I really think you remember years ago, Brandon, that Pepsi commercial where they were lining up to like kick a field goal and they all like popped the Pepsi, all right? And then I think they missed the field goal. I think that was the whole point of the commercial.
And Kylie Jenner solved world peace.
Oh, no, that was a different commercial, I think. I think that, but yeah, no, same idea. And I think for a hot minute, it led into conversations of like how fans can influence the game. And you talk about Lumen Field, right? You talk about how loud it is. You talk about Arrowhead, right? You talk about all these different places you could play and it's like really loud or the fans or just whatever. I think this is the way. This is the next step of fans impacting the game.
DM me. Dating owners' sibling or children.
Exactly. That's how you start whispering things in their ears. Like, you know what? I don't think Patrick Mahomes is that good. I think you should trade him. You know where he'd hate to go? The Broncos. He would really hate that. So that's how you do it.
You know what, Clark? You better get it. There's a big controversy coming.
There is.
Patrick Mahomes has some dark secrets,
True.
Some skeletons in his closet. They are literal skeletons, Clark, because he murders people. Get rid of him now. Yeah, him and Cousins are in cahoots.
Wow. Could you imagine? Like you just wake up, right? You're blind. You don't know how you got there, and you're just in an empty Kohl's. And you see just Kirk Cousins there, like Kirko chains the whole nine, and then you just hear like in the darkness, "Oh, hey there," right? That'd be horrifying. That goosebumps. That would send chills right up my spine.
Yeah, Cousins chokes you with his big Kirko chain, while Mahomes suffocates you just by pouring ketchup into your mouth. Bad way to go out, guys. Bad way. I didn't even know Clark Hunt had a son, though. He only takes pictures with his daughters. He does. Did you know Clark Hunt had a son?
I don't know. Why would I even know that though? Because I'm not looking into that.
I literally saw a picture of him and his family today on Twitter.
Perna should get
him
frosted
and his
tips.
wife and his daughters. Because I think his wife said she fell down a mountain and had to have like emergency like surgery. So I hope she's okay.
Okay, Perna, you can't.
Yes, I can. I can do whatever I want.
You can't just jump from, I didn't know he has a son. He only takes pictures with his daughters. His wife fell off a mountain. How did we get from here to here to here?
Oh, no, it was his daughter that was rushed to the hospital, not his wife. His daughter. Yes, I do hope she's okay.
Yeah, I hope they're okay. Good God. Wait, this was like...
I only see like these photos. I've never seen his son.
This happened like a couple hours ago? Oh, God, yeah. Okay, hopefully she's okay. Good God. Perna should get frosted tips. I agree with that.
Now, that's a bet I can do.
You could watch Coach.
No. Anyway, I didn't know Clark Hunt had a son, and I hope his daughter's okay.
Pits.
What was I gonna say? Oh,
I don't know.
what grinds my gears, Tom?
There we go.
We talk about this from time to time, right? Comments or something that actually bother us.
Sure.
Because you try to detach, right? Because everybody here is cool. Everybody here is supportive. And for the most part, like YouTube's a really positive place in my experience when you're posting. But we've talked about like when you open the YouTube Studio app, if you like scroll down just a little bit, it like pops up like the 3 most recent comments. And I try to avoid those because it's the recent ones that are the random ones that are going to be the negative ones.
Sure.
So we posted a 2023 recap video, right?
Oh boy. Yep.
38-minute video. Okay. Talk about every team, how it went wrong.
38 minutes?
38 minutes long.
Did you force Barks to edit that?
Yeah. And I just uploaded our 58-minute Dallas Cowboys episode for him to start on.
You know what's funny? I literally, real quick before you finish, I texted him too because now that I'm about to be done with reaction videos sometime this year, I'm like, all right, I got to start getting into like season predictions, and I have 8 videos, just one for each division, what have you. And I was like, what's your schedule looking like? He's like, well, I have this hour video that I got to just chip away at. And I was like, oh, it's on the Cowboys?
The 90s Cowboys.
Ooh, my dad would like that one.
How they would be banned from today's NFL because they're a wild bunch. Will and I read a book about the Cowboys by Jeff Pearlman. It's really, really good and fascinating. We're not Cowboys fans, but it was like interesting. So anyway, yeah, I uploaded that for Johnny this morning for him to chip away at because it is a monster. Anyway, 38-minute video, right?
Yep.
And I say in the video, like, so the Dolphins go into Kansas City in the postseason, freezing cold temperatures. They got their ass kicked, and it's hard to beat the Chiefs when your 3 starting pass rushers are injured, right? Bradley Chubb was injured. Jalen Phillips was injured. Andrew Van Ginkel was injured. I was like, it's hard to beat the Chiefs if you can't rush Patrick Mahomes. And the comment I saw was, oh yeah, the Dolphins not having any pass rushers is the reason they only scored 10 points against the Chiefs. That's the type of shit that pisses me off, Tom. Not like you're a fucking ugly tool and I hope you get diarrhea. It's the person who that is their one takeaway from a 38-minute video. A actual football truth is just somebody like, yeah, that's the only reason they couldn't beat the Chiefs. That's not what I said, you fucking moron. I said their 3 edge rushers were injured, and it makes it hard to beat the Chiefs when that happens. Those type of people, that's what pisses me off. Oh, when they just try to misrepresent your point you're making.
Sure.
That's what makes me angry.
Sure. No, I get that, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you want to criticize the opinion. You want to that's fine, right? Like, you could disagree 1,000,000%.
Like, I'm not going to break down that whole game and all the reasons why the Dolphins lost. I didn't say the Dolphins were better than the Chiefs because I know it's a Chiefs fan. I know it's a Chiefs fan saying that. Anyway.
So that's what's really grinding your gears. It's not just the comment, but you're like, I know where it's coming from.
No, it could be any fan.
Oh,
It's just misrepresenting what you're saying. That's what bothers me. It was funny. I saw that and it made me mad, and then I laughed. Like that's what gets me. They could threaten like my existence. I'm like, nope.
You're like,
it's
fine.
The guy who is not getting what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the guy also pretending like missing your 3 edge rushers isn't a big deal. Like, have you ever watched football, bruh? Anyway. Yeah, Broncos record has not been positive.
Listen, but get it out, buddy. This is the time. This is the time. We're good?
I'm good now. I just had to vent.
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't argue with them.
Dude, but that is a thing though, dude. Like it used to It's so funny the way that I talk about this because that is the most normal reaction ever. When, like, again, whether it's death threats, wherever it's whatever, a lot of that stuff, like, used to really bother me. And I was just like, oh, man, like, this is not what I said, or, like, this is not my intention of, like, what I wanted to do with this. Like, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. Like, we could have a good faith conversation. I've had plenty of good faith arguments with people that I disagreed with. But, like, you legit have to go, like, all right. All right.
No, you can't. It's a losing battle.
Right.
Too.
It's like, dude, I go through the comments literally on every single one of my videos, and it's just, all right. But it's also good too when you like seek those out because like you're feeling good and you're just like, oh, I can't feel too good. Gotta make sure you.
I try to go there when the video first uploads because the people who show up right away, like nothing I appreciate more. And then I give it a while and then wait for all the top liked comments to kind of filter their way through. Because it's usually if it's not a positive thing, it's a funny thing. Sure. Or if it's somebody making fun of me, they did a good job. Like I want to acknowledge those.
Yeah.
Do I want the first overall in 2025?
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
I don't think the Broncos are going to make like a playoff run this year. So if we get the first overall pick, I'll take it. Mm-hmm. Either we're so bad because Bo Nix is horrible, or we're like Bo Nix was good. We can get a premier edge rusher or receiver or whatever position we want there, or we could trade out of that pick and get a bunch of draft picks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, Quentin. I actually I defended Quentin Johnston. I feel like he gets way too much. Like the hate is lingering. It's like, okay, let's give this man a refresher.
Yeah,
let's let him have the opportunity to earn our trust this season.
Well, it's literally because of where they drafted him. Receivers that were drafted after him had better performances than he did. But yeah, I mean, like this year to be like, you gotta hope he's the guy.
Yeah,
you better hope. But I think
I saw the same thing happen to Jerry Jeudy too. It was like he could not live down this one horrible game with a couple other drops throughout the season as a rookie.
You want to talk about horrible seasons? Let's talk about Devontae Adams when he was his sophomore year with the Packers, and everybody and their mother was calling for him to get cut because he couldn't catch a freaking ball. And now Devontae Adams is one of the greatest wide receivers in the league.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes it just takes time. Sometimes it takes time. Something just clicks, whether it's confidence, whether it's technique. So I get it. Also, the greatest plot twist of our lives would be if this was actually the real Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
Like that, he's just at camp, and we're like, Quentin, get off your phone. Like, stop watching GPS. Like, go to a jugs machine and start catching balls.
He's like, no.
Rooting for you, buddy. Rooting for you.
I'll never drop GPS. That's what he says.
That's fair. It navigates him to maybe catching the ball.
I think receivers too. They don't get as much time from the public's perception to develop because so many receivers come in and are good right away. It's a position we forget that guys need time to develop.
But that's not how it always for a while. Like Justin Jefferson came in and like lit this league on fire. Jamar Chase, who really struggled in the pre, and he's like, oh, I can't catch a ball, and then like he goes off. Like it's definitely happened, but I would argue that's usually the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like because of those guys, people are like, this receiver's got to be good immediately.
Exactly.
Especially if that receiver's playing with a good quarterback.
Oh yeah.
You're right.
There is a reason that like I've taught like World War I during Friday Night Q&A, all this, because I also have to see if it's okay with YouTube, but I can only.
I wouldn't want to deal with anything real.
Yeah.
World War II. Yeah, I could imagine the types of crazy shit you gotta withstand. That's what I love about sports. Like you can be angry, you can be ridiculous. You're like, it was just a game where one team scored more points than another. Like it doesn't matter.
But that's why it's like I love sports because like if you want like tribalism, but in an environment where it can be healthy, where you could just be like, oh yeah, you suck, whatever. But as long as like you're good at the end, then we're rocking. Like be a fan. Like that's fandom, right?
Yeah.
It's just when it just goes so much.
Yeah. There's I don't know.
Also, Connor Williams going to the Seahawks. I really like that for the Seahawks.
Oh, there you go, Connor.
Like that.
Little snapping the ball to Geno Smith and his succulent hands.
I do like that. So, Perna, what you got coming out today, buddy?
Nothing. Probably a short. Make sure you check out the GPS. It's a podcast.
Come on, Bo.
We had to update the Spotify link. Something weird happened with the Spotify link. We got a new one. We are no longer number one on the podcast. It's dumb. Heed the call. Now number one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're back. They're back.
Hell yeah.
But let's get us number two.
Number 2.
Two.
Number 2.
Which reaction you got today, Mr. Grossi?
The main reason the Dolphins lost the Chiefs was because their 3 main pass rushers were. That's what I heard from Perna's video. Yeah,
But that's a big reason. If you can't put any pressure on Mahomes,
that's what I heard. Yeah, that's the only reason they lost.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
say it was the only reason.
No, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Yes, the Chiefs' defense also very good. Maybe if the Dolphins had their edge rushers,
Perna loves
maybe
you.
they force a turnover, a sack in a key situation. Maybe the game's a little bit closer. Maybe something else breaks free.
Mhm.
But
Go Lions will fight you.
there you go.
That's it. They
I
just
love
eat
the
those
Lions.
kneecaps. Yeah, so it depends. 'Cause we're not gonna be here on Friday. We'll be back here on Monday. I am probably not gonna have a reaction video out today because I need to prep for. I'm not gonna be here on Friday, so I
gonna
need
get
to get work done. So I have 2 left. So I'm either, if the Brandon Aiyuk trade goes through today,
Sure.
I'll have that reaction. I really want to make a skit on it because I have an idea for the Ayuk stuff, so I might do that today. And then you're going to get Broncos and Vikings for the final 2. So we're getting there.
Saving the best for last, baby.
That's it. That's
Broncos,
it.
Vikings, Super Bowl confirmed.
Dude, like even
DJ
the
McCarthy versus Bo Nix in the Super Bowl.
even
How
the
dumb would that be?
Jesus. Even the Titans one. I was
Yeah.
like, they didn't have too much. I mean, they lost Vrabel. Nope. Still a
Look at
whole
that.
freaking fracket. Like, these are just taking, they're taking so long. They just
Yeah.
take the entire day. And I'm just tired of doing them. So I am so happy there's 2 left. There's Broncos, then there's Satan, and then that's it.
And I basically did the Broncos one for you, so.
No, I'm gonna have to do the whole thing because I have to know, and I already know a bunch of stuff because of you, but we'll get there. But folks, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, Brandon Aiyuk trade will happen at some point. We're all just waiting.
Or it won't.
Or not.
I hope the 49ers wait until like the trade deadline to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
Just drag it on.
Maybe if you use a computer, it'd be faster, but then I don't retain it. That's right. 'Cause
Yeah,
when you
dude,
write
like,
things
that's-
out, that's how I retain.
I don't retain anything.
That's it.
As
It's
soon as the
faster,
video's
but
posted, I forget everything I just fucking said.
that's it.
100%.
That's it. But folks, man, I can't wait for the first 9 minutes of this on a podcast. It's gonna be so great. It's just me talking. It's just silence.
El Gato. You.
But thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigating. Let me try to do this.